Natural calamities can occur at any time, and unlike tornadoes and tsunamis, earthquakes come without a warning and have instant effects. What results due to these earth-moving disasters are landslides, which further add to the damage. Today we shall be taking a look at the largest landslides in recorded history and assess the damages and casualties humanity suffered because of them. Grab your snacks, lay back as we jump right into the video. 1. Many calamities have occurred as the result of the glaciers in the Cordillera Blanca. The 1962 and 1970 incidents, which originated from the Glacier 511 on the Nevado's Huascarán, the highest mountain in the Peruvian Andes at 6,768 meters above sea level, were exceptionally intense. On January 10, 1962, an ice avalanche with an estimated initial volume of 10 million meters cubed occurred. The avalanche proceeded down 16 kilometers and devastated the city of Ranrajerca, killing 4,000 people. A powerful earthquake with a magnitude of 7.7 precipitated the most devastating rock ice avalanche known in history at 3:23 p.m. on May 31, 1970. It ended up transporting 50 to 100 million cubic meters of water, dirt, and rocks, which suffocated all life forms in the settlement of Yungay under its lethal blanket. The avalanche overtook a hill in the downstream area and entirely devastated the city of Yungay, killing around 18,000 people. Some remains were reported 100 kilometers away, to the Pacific Ocean, close to Chimbote. Some people's remains were never found because they were buried under so much rubble. 10,000 more agricultural animals perished, and millions of dollars worth of crops were lost. The casualties in total racked up to 30,000. 2. Also known as the Nevado del Ruiz volcanic eruption, is said to be Colombia's greatest natural disaster and resulted in the worst lahar ever seen. On November 13, 1985, the dormant volcano Nevado del Ruiz in Tolima, Colombia, erupted, causing devastation to the surrounding communities and cities, sending down lava flows as fast as 60 kilometers per hour. Dacitic tephra was blasted more than 30 kilometers into the sky by Nevado del Ruiz. Only 3% of the volume that Mount St. Helens erupted in 1980 was contained in the 35 million metric tons of material that was ejected, including magma. Despite weeks and days of warnings from geologists and other specialists to authorities in the media, the eruption's repercussions were disastrous because local communities were caught off guard and evacuation instructions were not followed in a timely manner. Over 200,000 individuals were impacted by the tragedy, which also left 24,000 people dead and 10,000 homeless. Additional losses and damages included 6,000 acres of farmland, agricultural infrastructure, livestock, and about 50 educational facilities. There were also 2 hospitals, over 4,000 housing units, employment income in the impacted areas, and water and sewer systems, transmission lines, and fuel pipelines. Numerous fatalities were recorded in neighboring towns, including Chinchina, as the lahars quickly enveloped the town of Armero. Since 1985, the Nevado del Ruiz has erupted multiple times, and it still poses a threat to up to 500,000 residents who live along the valleys of the Combeima, Chinchina, Coelatoche, and Guali rivers. 3. In December 1999, Venezuela's mountainous regions were swamped by heavy rains over a 10-day period, which led to devastating mudslides that wreaked havoc in the state of Vargas and other northern regions of the nation. The hardest-hit areas were those along the ocean. A 100-kilometer section of the coast was completely destroyed. Due to especially strong rainfall during the preceding day and evening of December 15th, the biggest devastation occurred on that day. Flooding increased the harm and suffering. On December 15th and 16th, as the crisis's severity grew, President Hugo Chávez's administration called in the military to help with evacuation attempts and re-establish order in neighborhoods overrun by looters. Red Cross organizations from the United States and Venezuela swiftly joined the rescue effort and set up outposts where victims could get food and medical attention. All segments of society were impacted, but the poorest people suffered the worst losses since so many flimsy homes and shantytowns were destroyed by the surging mud and water. The tragedy claimed the lives of 10% of Vargas's residents. Many homes were simply carried away into the adjacent ocean, while the whole communities of Carmen de Uria and Cerro Grande vanished under the mudbed. Around 30,000 people were killed in the area as a result of a series of big and minor flash floods and debris flows that were brought on by the rain. 4. A devastating earthquake devastated Haiyuan County in distant Gansu Province in north-central China on December 16, 1920. This area is now part of the Ningxia-Hui Autonomous Region. At a depth of roughly 15 kilometers, it hit immediately after 7 p.m. local time, and aftershocks continued for 3 years. The second worst earthquake in the globe around the 20th century was the 8.5 magnitude Haiyuan earthquake. It caused a string of 675 significant low-S landslides, which greatly damaged both people's lives and their property. Along with the nearby provinces of Gansu and Shanxi, the epicenter of the earthquake in Haiyuan County, in what is now the Ningxia Hui Autonomous Region, was among the worst affected regions. More than half of Haiyuan County's residents perished in the tragedy on its own. In Shiji County, one of the landslides also buried an entire village. Over 100,000 people perished in the natural disaster that devastated the rural area of Haiyuan on the evening of December 16, 1920, and 20,000 square kilometers of land were seriously destroyed. However, subsequent Chinese researchers found that around 273,000 people died. 5. Next up, we have the largest landslide in recorded history. However, this landslide is not judged by the damage or casualties it resulted in, but it is actually judged by the sheer size and magnitude of the landslide itself. 88 kilometers northeast of Portland, amid the Cascade Mountains, lies the stratovolcano Mount St. Helens. Since the volcano only developed about 40,000 years ago, it is a rather recent formation. It is the Cascade Range's most active, though. Despite Mount St. Helens having been dormant for 123 years, a cataclysmic explosive sequence began in March 1980. The following days saw a number of minor earthquake occurrences recorded by the seismographs. A shallow M4.2 earthquake, with the volcano's north side as its epicenter, was registered on March 20th. The temblor signaled the impending start of a powerful explosion. An M5.1 earthquake that hit on May 18, 1908, early in the morning, was located around 1.6 kilometers under the volcano's north side. The greatest landslide ever seen was started by a seismic shock. About 20 seconds after the seismic wave, there was a landslide, which caused the whole mountain flank to fall. The entire north face of the mountain just gave way, and I can guarantee you, what you are seeing is not CGI. The dust clouds that followed were of a nuclear scale and covered the entire horizon. Much of the wildlife that was in the area had perished, and that is not to say people as well. Although much of it was unoccupied, the landslide still managed to take the lives of 57 people due to its direct or indirect effects. The entire amount of the material removed, according to the USGS, was 2.79 cubic kilometers, or 1,116,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. The slide covered an area of 59.57 square kilometers with a maximum depth of 180 meters and an average depth of 45 meters. The speed of the debris flow varied from 112 kilometers per hour to 193 kilometers per hour. The top of Mount St. Helens was higher before the disaster at 2,949 meters, and it was lower after the landslide at 2,549 meters. Although these were just the largest in recorded history, there were many more and far deadlier landslides that were never recorded. This brings us to the end of the episode. Thank you for watching the video. Consider subscribing if you find this entertaining, and smash that like button to show some love. Hope to see you in the next one. Until then, take care.